Hi everyone, welcome back to Anita's Joint, hashtag Extendajoint, where every day is payday, baby. You tuned in to another video. So Houston Dash have inked their main man, Sam Laity, and the Houston team had a press conference, and I listened to a little bit of it. We're gonna be listening to a little bit of what he has to say. Some from Alex a little bit towards the beginning, and yeah, I was doing some deep dives on some of the people that are in, got the money to influence Houston's moves. And so, very interesting observations I was able to see. Whoever owns Houston, they only bought him for 400 million, like with Dynamo and the Dash. So, I mean, uh, reading up on Ted, the guy that was in the interview, he talks a little bit in the beginning, but not as much. But Alex talks a little bit, but mainly we're here just to hear Sam and also just read about more of his accolades. And I'll just give you some of my opinions on how I think the new signing for Houston will do. And hopefully, like I said, a lot of great things come from this move. You already know how. You already know. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. So this is Alex Singer. She's the Scorpio. I forget her title for Houston, but she's like very important. And she's a general manager. That's right. Let's go.
Foundation together, day one, starting together, not only to bring out the best to Houston, but to cultivate that here ourselves within this group. And Sam will be a huge part of that moving forward. His experience in coaching education proves that he's continuing not only to develop himself, but that of other coaches. And as I mentioned, that's what we want to do. Bring the best here, but also cultivate that here with our own talent.
That was one of the best things I liked in the whole talking point.
I am elated to officially welcome Sam Laity to the Dash, and please join me in a warm welcome for our new head coach, Sam Laity.
Okay, so this is the dude. Welcome.
It's the first time I felt this tall in a very, very long time.
And he's a Cancer sun sign, so that's very interesting.
I'm going to start with a couple of thank yous, and at first it goes back to my former club, ORN. Without a shadow of a doubt, there is no way I would be sat in this privileged position I am today were it not for the trust and support and relationships of Linktree and Predmore, who were the original founders of Seattle Rain, and especially Laura Harvey. As Alex said and Ted said, I've been in the league for 10 seasons with that club. Obviously, the changing of the brand to ORN. So first thing I have to do is acknowledge their support and their guidance and get to the point today. So thank you very much to Bill, Teresa, Predmore, and everybody at ORN. And that even extends to the players as well, because I've worked with so many world-class players that, as Ted had mentioned, and without a shadow of a doubt, there's been massive learning opportunities for people. So thanks to everybody really at ORN, whether it was a staff member, whether it was a player, especially the fans. So kudos and thank you very much to them. Secondly, Alex, Jessica, Ted, thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm humbled, grateful, but not satisfied. One of the reasons why I'm sat here today is I'm ambitious and I want to win. I think that most relationships in life that are successful, ones that involve compatibility. And what was very, very clear from day one in my initial conversation with Alex and then later with Jessica and Ted was that our values were aligned. That was really important. As it's been noted a number of times, having been in a club like Seattle, where success was expected, that was winning championship. They weren't. They were not successful in it. Making the postseason on those occasions, and unfortunately, on other occasions. Going to be in a great position to see what has worked and what hasn't worked. I've left that organisation, managing expectations on that we've been today. Very, very, very beneficial. We'll start with questions now. We'll go with Mark Burby if you guys have questions.
Okay, so they're gonna ask him a couple more questions, but I thought that was a great that's just a great individual to come to the new space for Houston. Like you said, being at a club that you have to win. Oh, Rain, pretty much when I was watching them, they're pretty always good. And then, like I said, now you have the they were Seattle Rain, and then now you're AKA Baby Leon now. So you have to, like infinitely, and then you're getting a lot of the French players coming through, even attracting some English talent, some German talent to this team. Oh, Rain, some Canadians as well. So I just think. It's a great mentality space to be able to grab an individual like him. So Alex is a Scorpio. He's a Cancer, so we already had that water connection. He said the compatibility was on point. He said some other things. I think it was on I saw it on Twitch, not Twitch, on Twitter. But hopefully we get to hear it in the interview. He doesn't talk too long, but I think based upon you know and Alex said a lot of things earlier, but she was like reading, a lot. She said a lot, but she did say that they wanted someone pretty much that was kind of already familiar with the get down. And also, I just found out that the former Houston Dash manager, he's going to be the Gotham manager now coming through. So it's very interesting. So he didn't leave for a male's team. He left for another individual team. Hopefully, y'all can hear the question, but
What this day's like for me? A bit overwhelming actually. Yeah, I'm used to I've been 10 years in it, and for a short period of time as been coach, so I spent most of the time behind the screen, behind the curtain. So not overwhelming, but
you a little overwhelmed by the whole show.
exciting. Obviously, discussions now for a number of weeks, and it really, really hit home. Monday when we were packing our bags, that what this actually happened. So that was definitely take a deep breath moment. Obviously, when you've been, I lived in Seattle for 22 years.
Damn.
This was my next step. Always going to be very, very big. So the next step for me had to be the right step, and the relationship connection that we have already has proven that I'm in the right place. That waiting for like this, not jumping in. I want to be a head coach. Having that patience has served me well. I'm ecstatic. I'm very, very excited. Start training tomorrow. I would do that, but that's not the right thing to do.
It's a very important moment. I think it's the
Here's
next
Ted.
step in the progression that we're taking it.
He's got the money. He's got the cash to splash.
Of course, cash deserved. That started earlier this year with the hiring of Jess as president, bringing on Alex as general manager, and this is sort of the culmination of the series of hires that we need to make and that are going to elevate this club to greater heights in the year ahead.
Yes. So, I mean, we had extensive exit meetings at the end of the season, of course, and what was important for me was to gather as much information as possible about what we needed in our next head coach, and we also had a list of non-negotiables and priorities from our players that were really the drivers in how I navigated my discussions
Okay,
with initial
got the players'
candidates
input.
and those
Important to
initial
know.
conversations. I did have discussions with various players throughout the process as well, but it was important, I think, collectively first to start with a plan, and that started with the feedback I had, kind of knowing exactly where to start and how to navigate, like I said, and then those priorities and non-negotiables.
Man, I can't even hear what he's asking him. So we're just going to have to
Yeah,
hear
100%.
Sam's feedback.
Part of the conversation I had to suggest to the players. One of the first things that I thought, whatever you did as a team, as a group of players, from a cultural perspective, a leadership perspective, from a spirit perspective, whatever you did last year, having gone through the experience of 3 head coaches, that's our starting block for 2020. I'm not a magician, 2 arms, 2 legs. I'm not going to come in with some.
This guy said, I'm not a magician.
So for me, tying that into the foundation for 2023 and then future success. And in fact, in our early conversations before I'd actually officially had my first interview, I'd spoken to a number of players around the Dash organisation, a number of people that had played here, and players that some people were starters, some people were on the bench, some people were making the squad. And what was a very unique moment for me was not one member of that playing or technical staff had anything poor to say about the club. Nothing, except for the weather in July and August. Full disclosure.
Now this is all no. I mean, I'm like, I want to believe Houston's all perfect, but why the fuck did our manager get suspended and fired? You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Over players in different sort of hierarchical circumstances. But then to all say only positive things.
Yeah, for them to say that, yeah.
That was a massive thing for me because you
They lied to you? Oh shit! Nah.
Spirit,
I'm
culture,
playing.
locker room. And my job is to come in and evolve that. Not be more of an evolution as opposed to revolution. It's silly of me to come in and break that down because I've got an ego and I'm a head coach and I want to show everyone what I can do. So I'm going to be leaning on the players a lot, because leaning upon the staff and the leadership a lot, and collaborating and trying to continue the positive things about the culture and add different layers to it. And I think part of that is a winning mentality, especially at home. Great question.
We'll go to Sam here in the back.
All right, very good. That's right, easy to remember.
Yeah, I can't hear what he's saying, but
Yeah.
and he's British.
Massive, Sam, huge. And I touched on this just now. The next step in my personal journey, the next step in my professional development had to be the right one. There had been a sort of touch of other opportunities in the past, but just didn't feel right. Whether it was leadership, whether it was squad, whether it was culture of the club, whether it was the ambition. So really challenging, yeah. And again, I think I said just now, it didn't really hit me and us until we started packing our bags to come down for this trip. Like, yeah, this is really happening. Yeah, another good question. So, typically you experience the opponent as an opponent, right? You go there with a desire to win and try and beat them, right? Try and get one of them. I came down with the rest of the ORA staff for the quarter-final game against Kansas City, and I got a chance to see that as a different lens. So, seeing the packed stadium, seeing the kids, the families, mums, the dads, brothers, sisters, grandpas, everybody in Dash gear, that was a surprise, to be honest with you, and need that for 2023, by the way. That was a huge surprise. So to see and experience a club from the lens as a fan at that point, because I was a fan at that point, gave me a really huge opportunity. And I will say this as well, and how we were treated, so how we were treated by the club, coming down as a rival team to scout the game that we would play against one of the team that was successful. How we were treated, how we were greeted at the stadium, how we were moved through the stadium to our location in the stadium to watch the game. That really stood out to me. That was another tick in the box. John Wooden once said, "Little things make big things happen," right? And that was something that really, really, really stood out for me. So a number of layers that start pointed me down south to a much warmer climate than I am. Although not at the moment, obviously. Yeah, so to answer your question bluntly, it was very, very challenging, very exciting, and can't wait to get going.
All right, bet. So
I think we'll wrap up here with Grant.
yeah. So that was some really good good hot takes from Oh Boy. Yeah, so those are some really good responses. I really enjoyed what he had to say. But I want to just show y'all some of his because he did get to manage Rain a little bit. Let's see. But so they said he has coached in more than 200 NWSL regular season and playoff games during his tenure as assistant coach at Rain. Right, so he spent most of his career as a primary assistant under Rain, Laura Harvey. Right, and he served as an interim team manager in 2021 for 6 games. So he's a 4-2-0. Okay. 1-4, lost 2, draw none. All right. He helped lead Rain to an NWSL Best 1174 record last season, awarding Seattle-based club the Shield. Damn. And number 1 seed in the playoffs. This was the 6th trip of the postseason. Interesting. Look, it says Sam also served as assistant coach under current United States national team head coach Vlatko and Donowski from 2017 to 2019. Very interesting. Very interesting, y'all. Very interesting. I didn't know he served under Vlatko. That's interesting. Former Vlatko, man. Okay. But anyways, y'all, I think overall in general, I like the fact that he has, got to see the growth of the individual, because he's pretty brilliant. If he said he's been there for 10 years, he's pretty much been there for the whole individual creation and all this stuff's going down. But he's just been with a more successful team, OL Reign, aka Baby Leon. But Baby Leon been through a lot of infrastructure too, and so then, like I said, OL Reign, coming from OL Reign, so he's well known. I would say he's well known. I mean, I think Laura Harvey, Vlatko Donowski, these are big players in the women's football realm in America. So I think this is a pretty nice piece for Houston to land on their board. Also, like I said, it is Rain. Are they making changes? Like, I feel like we could see maybe Laura Harvey leave to Man City, and it looks like Rain, Baby Leon are making some changes, and Laura Harvey could be the next player off the door. She could have a bigger contract coming her way. We'll see. But it's very interesting. It's very interesting that they're moving Rain. They had a great season on the Shield, but their playoff performance was awful. So, I mean, that's just how I feel. I mean, I said what I said. But anyways, y'all, thank y'all once again for tuning in to Anita's Joint. Hashtag Extendajoint, where every day is payday, baby. It's your girl, Anita, flying high. Flying out of this third dimensional reality. And I'll see you on the next one.